Hi, we're Laura and Dan. We bought an old barn and with no experience of building and farming, we began creating our dream off-grid homestead. We're usually fixing something or making lots of mistakes. Follow us on our journey.
So, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% sure how this is gonna go down. So the idea what I'm trying to do is I've got a few different things that need to enter the barn. So first of all, the diesel heater is going to be here, and also we've got the solar cable wire which should go through as well to connect into the electrical setup. I'm more confident that the electrical wire will obviously be easy to find a way and get through the granite. However, the diesel heater output, the diesel heater heat that goes into the barn is basically about that size. So I think it's probably got about a 40mm diameter, maybe a bit more, maybe 50mm diameter, which is quite big. So it's going to have to be roughly about that size. So I don't know how that's going to go down. So basically I'm going to have to try and drill through and just see what happens basically. So I'm going to just see if how far I can get this through basically and see if it pops out at the other end. I'm not too sure because I think these walls are quite thick. I think they're about half a metre thick, which is quite a lot. So maybe I'll get this through enough and I'll have to try and figure something out on the other end. But we're going to give it a go and see what happens anyway, so wish me luck. So that went surprisingly a little bit better than I expected. So I thought I'm not going to film it because in case it is a real cock up and I just look like an idiot when I first put the drill bit inside and it doesn't go through. But it literally just made a massive hole, so fingers crossed it's like that on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is use the trusty old crowbar and try and wedge that in and see if it comes out at the other side. I'm going to try the chisel function now because I feel like that's the masonry bit's not going to work as good. The chisel's going to work better. But Laura went on the outside and she banged the crowbar inside, and we both think that it's roughly about this area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up the generator again, and I'm going to start taking out this area and just see what we can see as I start working through a little bit in this area. So hopefully the wall doesn't come collapsing down. I doubt it though because it's got a huge lintel there. But you never know, it could be some more YouTube drama. Laura, I've put a hole in your wall.
I know, I've seen.
What do you think?
It's exciting. It's exciting to have a heater coming into here because I don't have a log burner yet, and it's just going to be so convenient just to click a button and have warm air blasting in here.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's good to have both. We've got light coming through. So I've done a test with the smaller conduit to make sure it's going to come through. But now what I'm going to do is bigger piece of conduit, and I'm going to feed that through to the other side. And then all I need to do is fit the diesel heater, which is exciting. And I've got a little surprise as well, which I haven't shown the progress of yet. But I've made myself a little box to put the diesel heater in, so I'm looking forward to showing you that. It took us a few days, just keep chipping away on it while I was doing other jobs, but looking forward to showing you what I've done and how it's going to look. So as you can see, I've put the conduit through the wall, and I'll show you where it goes through the other side. So as you can see, this is the other side where I took the brick out, and it's coming through nicely. I'm going to leave enough on that so we can, when eventually we'll have a sofa or something in here, or a unit, whatever it may be, there's enough to come out, and I'll cap it off with a nice cap, and it'll look nice. It's not going to be like, you're not going to see a tube coming out the wall like this. So I'll give you a little bit of a walk around of the diesel heater box that I've made. The exhaust pipe is coming out there. I've also got the air intake here as well coming out on this side of the box. I've had this little bit of plastic spare on the land, so I just mounted that on the side of the box to use so that some airflow can get into the box, I've also used some black spare felt that I had that was just lying around the land. So I've just used a couple of tacks to put that in place. I've also adhesive that down, and it just gives a nice little bit of shelter for the box. As you can see, the heat pipe is coming from there into the barn, and that is where I drilled the hole prior. I've also got the electrics coming out there as well. Obviously this all needs to be filled in and repointed, but that's only a little small job. So if I open this up, you can see inside of the box, this is where the fuel goes, inside of here. And I've also, as I showed you before, that is where the heat outlet comes out, and it goes around there as I showed you before. But it's just a nice little makeshift box from things that were just lying around on the land. And that is one diesel heater box now completed. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it works when I test it in a moment, or all that'll be a waste of time. And what I'm going to do on the outside of the pipe that is coming in, I'm going to use some of this fire rated material to cover up the pipe to help any loss of heat on the pipe on the outside. And to fill in the gap on the wall, I'm going to use some of this fire rated spray foam to also fill in any gaps around the outside as well. Laura is now just filling it up with petrol, aren't you? Well, diesel.
Diesel.
What do you want to fill it up with? Olive oil?
Yeah. Let's see if it ran out of olive oil.
Probably, I reckon now olive oil will probably run it.
Maybe.
How good quality it is. Are you ready to test it, Laura?
I am. You got the cap for the...
This is the exciting part. Are we going to have heat in the barn, or are we going to have an error code on the diesel heater? So what we want to see is we want to see no error code when that is plugged in inside, don't we?
We need to prime it first, don't we?
Prime it first.
I don't know how, every different diesel heater has got a different way to prime it, so we need to figure that out. But yeah.
Let's go and see. A lot of planning's gone into this. Fingers crossed that the planning has come to work. So many different cables, connections, fuses to make this work on our system that we've got.
But it's going to be nice just to have an instant source of heat in the barn. Just push a button and
hopefully, fingers crossed. Got the manual on how to prime it. I cannot find anywhere how to prime it, so I'm just going to have to guess. So as you can hear, that noise is ticking. It is priming, so we'll give that a little bit of a chance, and then we're just going to fire it up, and we'll see if we've got some heat in there. So we'll give that a little bit of time, and then we'll see. Do we have heat, Laura?
We have heat.
How hot is it?
It's not that hot yet because it's obviously just warming up, but it's heating up.
That's good.
I'm interested to see if we close the door and the window, how quickly it takes to...
Should we do a test and try it?
So, I think we should try it, yeah.
Who would have thought that a little hole in the wall could give so much satisfaction and so much warmth? And for me, I'm really excited about this, because for me, it might sound like a little simple thing, but obviously I've put a lot of planning into this to make this work. But just a little simple thing like that adds to the barn and gives us that little more homely feeling. And for me, it's a big win. It's another little big win, you know what I mean? So I'm so buzzing. I'm really buzzing.
No, it's really good.
It is class, isn't it?
You've done a great job on that, Dan.
I'm buzzing. Just a little bit of warmth.
Yeah, it's good.
How's the warmth looking in here?
I can see that. Good. Very good.
Is it getting hot in here?
It's heating up nicely. I wonder if we can set the temperature higher on the heater as well.
Yeah, of course we can.
I haven't done that yet.
It's so quiet as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And then once all the gaps in the wall are rendered and everything, it's all going to retain the heat more. So
Good success, I say.
So this is our Bluetti AC240, and this is what we're going to be using to power the whole barn conversion. So at the moment we've just got our diesel heater plugged into it, but in the future we're going to have a fridge, freezer, other appliances all running off of this. So this unit has a 2,400 watt output capacity, but as you expand it you can increase that output capacity. So what I love about this is as your needs change over time off grid, you can stack it and it can still provide power for all of that. So we've used this now to power a jet wash, and it's so nice using this compared to a traditional generator, because traditional generators are really loud and disruptive. This, it's silent and it's just, you can hear what's going on around you rather than having to shout at each other when we're trying to do a job. So really good for those jobs. Unlike a traditional generator, it has no ongoing costs and it's also plug and play. So if you do want to grab your own Bluetti AC240, just click the link in the description below, and thank you so much again to Bluetti for sponsoring this week's video. With the wheelbarrow fixed, Dan got to work planning and putting in the base for the shed.
It's awkward one then. Yeah, forward of you walking in the second meter.
With that plan not working, we had to get back to the drawing board.
Oh my god, Laura, you're not going to believe this. Had the wildest dream ever. Had this wildest dream ever last night. That these shed fairies moved the shed. Oh my god, can't believe it. It was real. It wasn't a dream. What the hell? And they've also organised all my things as well. I think I'm going to start leaving more stuff around the land. Jobs left half done. You never know, the fairies might come back again. But on a serious note, it's good to have the shed in place now. And another little project I'm going to be working on soon, I'll show you this. So I don't know if you remember, we had a lot of this scrap metal that was left from when we did the roof. And what the plan is in this area is basically I'm going to use all that sheet metal that's behind us. I'm going to kind of build some type of like breeze block foundation with about 2 bricks. And I'm going to get some pallets and make like a pallet storage area. And then eventually in the end I'll kind of make it look a lot better and make kind of a nice base for it. But what we're thinking is that on the land we need a lot more better storage areas, because we kind of have a lot of things that's just kind of dotted around. You know, we've got the shed in a better place now, but moving forward we need some type of storage area for kind of some of the bigger materials, like spare rocks that are around the land, tubes, and just any old bits and bobs that's lying around, or things that I find in the bins. We need a nicer, cleaner storage area. But it'll be somewhere kind of about this area, and the pallets will be here, pallets there, pallets going across, and we'll use that sheet metal as a roof. And eventually I'll do some type of flooring, whether that's stones again like I did for here, or whether it's something else. But I think it'll just be good just to kind of have this area on the land here is a nice little storage area where we can kind of store our things, whatever we need to use and get as well. How does it feel to finally have the shower working?
Great, because we've been having cold showers for about 3 weeks now, and it's not fun. As the temperature is getting colder, it's been getting more and more unbearable to go in the shower, so now it's back up and working. It's nice to have a hot shower.
Should we just tell everyone what the problem was? So we tried checking I checked the electrics, thought a fuse had gone. Then we tried the pressure on the pump, and then we tried what else? Oh, then we even bought a new pump. We tried everything, and then what was the problem?
It was the gas bottle.
Or
It was
not even turned on?
turned the right way. But I can swear down that I tried every way, turn on, off, different positions of the little switch, and it still didn't work. So
And I also tried the bottle in every single way as well, but that didn't work either. But I don't know. Them bottles are dodgy sometimes on there's different ways sometimes to turn them on. And I kind of never remember last time having it turned that way, can you?
I swear things just like to embarrass us sometimes.
Yeah.
Something will go wrong. We'll try every single thing we can think of in our minds to try fix it, and then we'll eventually call our friend up, and it'll be the most simple issue that we could have sworn that we actually tried,
Yeah.
and then it just ends up working just because they go, "Oh, have you turned it on?" I'm like, and then it just works when they do it.
Sometimes we actually find, well, I find it easy to fix the hardest jobs when it comes to the simplest ones. That's something like that. We go straight to the like we think, oh well, it can't be that, so we'll go straight to the hardest problem, and it ends up just being like this little stupid simplest problem. Can you remember what years ago in the van? So when we lived in the van years ago, we still live in the van, but years ago when we were on the road living in the van, and our Wi-Fi wasn't working for about a year, was it properly? And then we met up with our friend in their camper and was like, oh, have you, because they had a very similar Wi-Fi, we're like, can you have a look at this, see if you can spot something we can't? And he was like, your aerial's not in, mate.
I hadn't plugged our aerials in. So yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing, but you know, we're just learning.
Yeah, you get on with it. You're never going to make that same mistake again, though.
No. And we'll never live it down either.
Yeah, we never say watch our channel for tips and tricks anyway, so
Yeah.
more giggles.
So what we're going to do is we're going to wire in our solar panels to our Bluetti. So we've got some long cable. We're going to connect it to the solar panels. Is it in series?
In series.
In series. And then run it under the ground through the wall and into the Bluetti. And then we'll be able to charge it without having to pick up the Bluetti, drag it around because it's really heavy. So it's going to improve our quality of life so much doing this. So this is a makeshift solar setup that we've got. We've just used literally just pallets that we had lying about on the land. This is probably not going to be what it's going to look like in the future, but while we've had them, we just thought we'd just do a quick makeshift setup. So it points them towards, not towards the sun right now because it's later on in the day, the sun's just about to set. But during the day it's going to get a good amount of sun this way, and we can always turn them and move them.
So things are really starting to come together now. We're really chuffed with how everything's starting, and the homestead's starting to turn out now. It's just so much going on, isn't it?
Yeah, I like having the shed up here as well because everything feels more connected and closer to the barn. Like this is the top piece of the land that we have with the barn. This is our all living space. So having it here just makes everything feel a bit more compact and
Definitely.
Yeah, just more like a home.
I know we could have made that decision to have that earlier in the journey. We could have had that further up here, but at the time, we're kind of, in the beginning when we first arrived to the land, the van was right down the bottom of the land and everything was overgrown, and we didn't really understand the land and how things were going to be situated. We didn't even know what we were doing, basically.
No, we just rocked up and we needed somewhere to put our tools and things, and so we just kind of, we were stationed at the bottom, so we just thought that would be the best place. But obviously as we've gotten accustomed to the land and as we've built more things, we've ended up here, so it makes sense to have it here now.
And as you've seen, it wasn't too much of a hard job. I just had to go to sleep, basically, and the fairies did the work for us.
Yeah, it did look quite funny, just the footage of it just floating across the ground.
Just in a couple of shots you can see like our feet just like going tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
So Laura and Dan did that.
It was a bit awkward to do, but it wasn't that difficult.
It wasn't.
I think.
But the diesel heat is a big one. A lot of planning went into that job, but I think it's getting the diesel heater in there just so we can have, on a night time, I'm going to have a fireplace in there eventually as well. But just having something that you can click
a button and just turn it on.
Turns on straight away is a massive thing. And also when we're working in there doing jobs as well, because we're going to be pointing and rendering the building soon and getting that really ready to start moving into. Having a button that you can, as the colder weather's coming, you can press a button and we can be building in the warmth.
Yeah, and also on like really cold winter mornings when you don't want to get out of bed and start a fire, you can just lie in bed and just push a button and the place heats up.
Exactly, you don't have to walk off and get the logs or anything, you just beep
Yeah. So it's a bit of convenience for us, which is
Definitely.
nice. But we are looking forward to having a fire because we do love having fires
Yeah.
inside. So
I think if you want a fire as well, it's better. It's much better. It's best to have two options. And also the solar panels as well. Our solar's now set up, so that's a big win as well. It took a little bit to kind of figure that out, didn't it? We couldn't. Only one of the solar panels was working at first, and then we eventually got two to work. And
Yeah.
now we've got quite a lot, decent bit of power going in there for us. And we've noticed. I mean, we've been having a lot of appliances because we've been doing a lot of building in there. The appliances have been running and the solar's been topping up all the time. It's been fine. Just have two solar panels for us so far.
Yeah, and we can always add to it. I think we are going to get a proper stand in the future and maybe add more panels, but at the moment we're just kind of building off of what we need at the moment, and then as our needs grow and as we get more
Definitely.
appliances, we can build up a bigger setup from that.
Definitely. So I think we'll leave this week's video here, and we're looking forward to sharing more what we've been up to. Like I say, there's so much going on at the minute, and it's getting exciting because obviously we're a little bit ahead, so we know what's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. We're in the future.
Yeah, we're in the future a little.
But,
So, but we'll be sharing that future with you very soon.
right. Ciao.
Ciao. Bye.